Welcome back. All right, so this video may end up kind of getting buried amongst all the news videos today. There will be other news videos before today's over. The signs, trades, all of that, and one sign and trade apparently is coming through. So I will be doing a video about that. Do not panic if you see this go up during the whatever's having happened. But the NHL releasing their schedule today, every team talking about their individual schedules. I just wanted to look at just a general overview. If you were looking for a more balanced schedule, as I thought would make more sense, so you can get people to be able to pay more attention to what's going on, the NHL's leaning in the other direction. So it starts easy enough. You've got a triple header to start things off. You've got Nashville at Tampa, and then you've got Chicago and Pittsburgh. So Bedard makes his NHL debut against Crosby. And then you've got Seattle at Vegas. So Vegas raises their banner. This seems to be a tradition now that the banner will go up on the first night of the regular season. And yeah, for Vegas, that should be great. And for Seattle, they're going to say, all right, so in 4 years, that's what our goal is. So October 21st, we will have 15 games on that Saturday. So the NHL does not waste time in getting into some really busy nights. October 24th, there are 16 games, and it's on a Tuesday. Middle of the week, you have 16 games that night. I'll do my best. Like that's as far as I'll do my best to recap those games that night. November 4th, there's 15 games. That's on a Saturday. So what's interesting is this means, of course, when you have the busier nights, that you're going to have a lot of dead nights. And a good example is Thanksgiving. The U.S. Thanksgiving, where they didn't have any games last year, and we were like, why didn't they have a single game on U.S. Thanksgiving? That would seem like it would be a ratings draw. And I understand there's other sports on that day. There's also a lot of people who aren't at work, and I think there's a lot of people who would want to watch a hockey game. But I wouldn't mind watching a hockey game. But November 22nd, the day before U.S. Thanksgiving, there are 14 games. And then the day after U.S. Thanksgiving, there's 15 games. So very, very busy days on the Wednesday and the Friday. Thursday, it's a night off for me. So, and there's a number of those this year. It feels like there's a lot of nights where there aren't any games, comparatively speaking, with this past season. Again, the all or nothing on the schedule, they seem to have just doubled down on. So I saw a lot of press and media talking about, this doesn't make any sense. There's 7 games on at the same time. Why can't they stagger this? Why did they have 2 games last night and 14 tonight? If that schedule bothered you, this year it's actually kind of worse. So January 1st, they do get something right here, where the Vegas Golden Knights and the Seattle Kraken will play the Winter Classic. It is the only game on. So that is it. January 1st, there's just the one game. It's the Winter Classic, and that's how it should be. Traditionally, that's how it was, but in recent years, we've seen other games overlapping with the Winter Classic, and it doesn't get as much attention. January the 16th, there are 16 games on that Saturday. So it is a very busy Saturday night for me there, because, of course, you got power rankings as well. March the 30th, there are 15 games that night. That's a Saturday as well. And there's not as many matinee games on these Saturdays that are really busy as I would have thought there would be. Are there a couple? Sure, but it's going to be very, very busy. So what this means is that I'm going to, and I talked about this at the end of last regular season as well, the nights where there's only a couple of games on or there's one game on, those are the nights where I'm going to buy tickets for Vancouver Canucks games if there's a Vancouver game. If I can go to an Abbotsford Canucks game, I will. Season tickets here in Abbotsford, I went to, I think, 2 games all season. Yvonne went to a bunch. I only went to, I think, 2, which I need to change that this year. That seems kind of, that doesn't make a lot of sense. And then I'll try to up the AHL content this year as well. With the nights off that we have, I may be able to up some of the AHL content too. But the season ends on April the 18th. There are 1,312 games on the schedule, as it has stayed an 82-game schedule. There was some talk about an 84-game schedule. That is not happening, not yet. Could it happen next year? Absolutely, but it has not happened yet. And for people who say the schedule should be shorter, players and the owners aren't going to take less money, so that's just not going to happen. In pro sports, really, schedules don't usually shorten down unless a league's having major trouble with their finances. But at any rate, the schedule does, as I said, look a lot more lopsided, which is saying something because it was something I talked about a lot last year. I'm not going to talk about it this year. I'm not. I know that there's people who are going to, but I feel like, I've talked about it for years. It's kind of all talked out. This is how the NHL schedules things, and we'll see how it goes. My complaint has been, I think the product is the best it's ever been, and when you have nights where there's 15, 16 games on, well, people aren't going to see most of what's going on. So I'll do my best to follow what goes on. But again, there's only so much I can do, and there are a lot of nights where it's going to be 10 or more games. But again, it's the same length of schedule as last season, and it does mean I should have more nights off where I can go out and do other stuff. Because again, what I've found too is when I do the recaps or reviews, I may change it back to reviews this year. I may change the title. I may make it something else, put a different word in there instead of recap or review. But what I've found is on the nights where there's maybe 2 or 3 games, those recaps or reviews don't get very many views anyways, especially regular season, middle of the week, early in the season. I can probably get away with going out and doing something with the wife and the kids and probably not tick off too many people. But at any rate, we'll see how things go. And of course, the power rankings are every Saturday night. I'm not moving the power rankings. It really is the sweet spot. I don't think there's another place I could put the power rankings where it would work. And I like to do them on Saturday night because it feels like Saturday is your busiest day. Sunday's normally not as busy. And it feels like that's the end of the week. You've had hockey night in Canada. It's all done. That's the end of the week. And then Sunday's the start of the next week. So I do like having the power rankings on Saturday night. And I've got 2 new sets of pucks. Good to go for next season for the power rankings. So I'm anxious about that. I will be doing the power rankings during the off season as well. Just kind of a for fun thing, which people will get very angry about. But that's the internet for you. And at any rate, there you go. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. And yes, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday are still the really busy days. Monday, Wednesday, Friday generally are the days where you see very few games or you might get a day off of NHL hockey. So there you go. Thank you guys so much for all your support as always. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Now I need to get back to doing some news of the day stuff because I get the feeling that there's a sign and trade coming today. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.